Hello and welcome to another Solana tutorial. Today we're gonna have a look at Surfpool again, because we did have a look at that and we complained a lot and I was told they improved some things. So today we're gonna see those improvements. Specifically, I wanna check if it's now easily possible to see the transaction details and just check out the other features that they added, because the Surfpool guys seem to be pretty active in development and they were really open in taking all of my feedback and implementing all of that. So I want to make another video because with all those updates, the previous one kinda is out of date, although not for the basics. If you want to know what Surfpool is, maybe you do want to watch the first video I made on it. Today we're just gonna deep dive a little more on the new features, which I have no idea what they are, but let's go. Let's just do it. Let's just have a look at Surfpool again. From the angle of, I have no idea what this even is. I have some idea what this even is, but I don't know what the new features are. So surprise me. Let's go. Surfpool Solana. What's new? We have the terminal. TXTX. Okay, there we go. Surfpool 0.10 is out. Surfpool 10.0, and the latest is 10.04. Do we have a changelog or something? No. Get release updates via X. Alright, that's the platform, right? I'm not even logged in. TX. They like that name, eh? Can I don't want to sign up right now here. Introducing Surfpool Studio. Can I not have this Twitter, please? If you're not happy with it, hide it. Because we're deaf. I don't want to sign in. I'm just gonna hide this thing. There we go. Much better. While we're... Okay, so Surfpool 0.10 is out. Introducing Surfpool Studio. That's what we're going to have a look at. Today we're going to have a look at Surfpool Studio. No idea what that is, but it seems cool. I like the name, Surfpool Studio. With this release, we're putting Web3 DevX from other chains in the rearview mirror. What is Surfpool Studio? It's a local web UI that unlocks the full potential of Surfpool. Transaction inspector, that's helpful. A transaction inspector at the instruction level, as I'm used to from the Explorer. But last time I didn't manage to get the Explorer connected, so we have to test if that is possible by now. And pinpoint byte level diffs, interesting, although don't know what that is. If it's byte level, like account state changes, that would be amazing. I would love to see that. And more. Universal faucet, time travel. Sure, I like my time travel, but I have no idea what that means. So, it's fast, offline capable, and deeply introspective. Of course it is. We gotta try it out. This is just text. A new kind of Solana dev environment. Right from your terminal. And we're just getting started. I can't read more without being signed in. You know what? I don't need to read more. I'm just gonna try at Surfpool. No idea how to get to that studio. Do the docs say something about studio? Nope. Okay, so I got no idea how to get there. We are a good user tester and try to figure it out ourselves. Let's just download Surfpool again. Installation. Here we go. Linux users should install from source. Okay, let's install from source. That's the nice way to do it anyway. So, step 1. Get the repo. I can do that. Git. Oh wait, I have it copied. There you go. Git clone. Then, when I go to this directory, that makes sense. And then cargo surfpool install. Let's see. LVM tools and rustc dev. Seems to install all the dependencies I need directly as well. Yes! Build it all! Oh, don't like warnings. Build failed. Oh, that's not good. Why? Could not find. OpenSSL. Could not run. Most likely you need to install. You suggested. I'm just gonna do it. Sure, why not? And then try this again. TXTX core, TXTX cloud. That's looking good. It's looking like relevant packages. Diesel, sure, whatever that is. There we go. Surfpool subgraph. Surfpool DB, Surfpool GQL, Surfpool core. We're getting to the important things. MPC. Surfpool CLI. And then Surfpool. Oh yeah. Surfpool installed. Let's check. Yes, we've got Surfpool in version 0.10.4. Great. Let's create a project like we did last time. How about surfing? And we cargo init a lib again. And we're gonna do a Pinocchio program again, like last time. And then we're gonna say Surfpool start. Yeah, you can deploy this. I didn't write the program yet, so maybe you want to create a program first so you have something to deploy. We're surfing. That's all you get. That's all the program does. Sure. And now we get to review this. Oh yeah, this is the run books. Not sure if I want to look at that today, but you want to deploy a program via cheat code. Signers. I'm just interested in local net for now, and it takes the key pair from here. Nope. So that's why it lets me review this here, so I can adjust this. I'll just confirm anyway, and then unable to airdrop because this file doesn't exist. Yeah, I told you. That's fair. This is looking different now. And it's looking nice. I mean, I like the dots here, actually. It's less in your face. It's more, yeah, it's doing something. It's not distracting so much as it did last time. It wasn't bad last time, but yeah. So, Studio. Oh, that Studio is available on localhost now. That's awesome. That's how you get to the Studio. We'll go there in a second. Let me just first actually create a key. Or actually, hold on. Let me kill this. And let me change. So for localnet, keys / this JSON. There you go. So that's the payer and then the authority. I could have different key pairs for that. So this is the one paying, and this is the one with the authority. Maybe just to see that difference, let's make 2 keys. So we have a surfer and a payer, just a payer. Oh, for F's sake. There you go. PayCC. The payer will be this guy. Okay, and then we're gonna start Surfpool again. And then your application is running on port 8899. Yeah, that's the RPC. And then it also starts one on port this here. That's the Studio. Cool. So this time I still see errors, but emulating local validator. Yeah, that's what I said. That's the local validator on this port, WebSocket on this port, connecting SurfNet data source. That's the RPC that it queries the data from. So if we need something from mainnet, that's where it gets it from. And then still unable to, oh no, this change didn't really take effect. It still tries this. Do I somehow need to tell you that you need to update? I saved this. Or is it taking that from somewhere else? Okay, 1 second. What if I copy this? And I delete all of the runbooks. And then I say Surfpool start again. Nope, it still starts. Or maybe because you have, oh, maybe this. That's why you have the info maybe. Okay, maybe I clear this as well. And then, there you go. Now you let me have this dialog again. And now if in runbook localnet, I change this to my values. And then I say review your deployment in main. I say yes. Then it still tries to use the config Solana ID. So I don't know how to change that. I don't know where it takes that from, like where I can set that it should take a different key. I don't know. I can of course put my key that I wanted to use there, but I prefer to have stuff locally. This project has this key, this project has this key, and never have to work with the global Solana config or this static path. I don't like it. Tell me where I can change that, please. It doesn't look like it's got anything to do with my runbook. So that's in here. Wait, but that's for DevNet. So in this txtx YAML, it defines the runbooks, the environments, localnet, but localnet doesn't provide those. Maybe, how about I put it here? My payer key pair and my authority key pair. How about this? And then I restart you. No, you still try to use this key pair. How about I explicitly put them to localnet as well? Okay, I don't know how this works. I don't even know how this is supposed to work. Okay, fine. Runbook deployment, execution aborted. Because deploy, invalid native binary, unable to read file. Yes, because we don't have a program yet. That is true. Because we have a simple program here, but we never said that it's an actual. We need to tell this that it's a library with this line. Okay, and then it should hopefully be able to deploy this. Do I need to cargo build SPF myself? Oh, I can't even. That's why I forgot that. And then Surfpool, unable to read file still. Okay, build myself. Now it built, and now we have that. So now if a Surfpool start, there you go, that looks better. Deployment execution completed. And did you also see that? Oh, this is probably the best change that they made. It's from up to down. Isn't that? Look at that. We have, not quite. I mean, there's a 17 before that, but that's okay. But then in general, no, this is very random, all of it still. But it looked like it was going from up to down. Anyway, let's look. Failed to broadcast transaction. No such file or directory. I mean, completed, but with error. I see. Attempt to debit an account with no. Because we couldn't get an airdrop. Because we don't even have a key. Okay, so I guess I just gotta put a key there. Fine. Fine, you shall get it. I'm just gonna copy my surfer to here. There you go. And now, hopefully that works. But did you see it went from up till down? Okay, and now still unable to send transaction. Are we just local or does it try to deploy this to all sorts of? Okay, we're gonna config set and go to local and then Solana balance. There you go. We did get an airdrop of 10,000 Sol. That's on local. This is just local now. And I'm wondering if this is just because my runbook tells you it should also deploy to other networks. Yeah, error at runbooks deployment may. What account are you talking about here? You know what? I'm gonna ignore those errors for a bit and see if I can call my program. What is my program even? Should I do my own key pair? Program. That's my program. Copy the pro to target, deploy, key pair. And then I'll need a script. Pro XD. Oh, that's even a better. I like this even better. I accidentally ran the wrong thing, but we're gonna use this one. Anyway, Surfpool start. Unable to confirm transaction, whatever. Mainly, I'm interested in this address, because this address will go in here now. And this is my program. Pro XD, yo. Okay, where's my program? We call this with no accounts and a serious instruction data, because nobody cares, just to see if that would work. Call the program. No, transaction simulation failed. Invalid program for execution. So probably that program doesn't exist. In fact, we can check that. Does this program exist? Nope. We are on local. So that's okay. So yeah, which means the deployment of this program actually did not succeed. So I need to look into this. Damn it. Transaction simulation failed. Attempt to debit an account with no account credit. Yeah. Which account? Maybe this one? No, but this is the temporary one that was created. Something is effed with my runbook. Maybe I revert this to, and then I'll delete it, and I'll delete the runbooks, and then I'll start Surfpool again with the defaults. And now it looks better. Okay, so apparently I messed something up when I changed the keys in the Sinus localnet TX. It doesn't like that. Okay. Oh, probably because of the pay. Yeah, because I only get an airdrop for the authority, but not for the payer. I get an airdrop for, this is weird. I get an airdrop for my ID.json, but then I need the authority and the payer to have funds. And since I think this is being killed every time I reset it, right? So let's just test this because we want to understand how Surfpool works. If I Solana transfer, I don't know, 100 Sol, because it doesn't really matter, to, let's say, the payer. Yes, allow it. Process transaction. Nice. But hey, it's at the bottom. I can confirm now that it's in the right order. What is this artifact here? This still looks a bit weird, honestly. There's something being overlaid here. Look, original transaction. That looks a bit odd. But at least this thing, the new stuff is in the bottom on the, yes, please, thank you. And we have the transaction signatures, which is also something that I complained that I didn't see this. So all good. I love it. And no logs though, but I prefer just the signature and then be able to look up the logs. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Solana balance of this pair should now be 100. Okay, cool. If I kill this, oh, because it wrote that in the back here? The hell. Interesting. So Surfpool also prints some stuff in the background and that got overlaid then. Interesting. So that's a bit, I'll clear this. And then start Surfpool again. Does seem a bit buggy here now, but it shouldn't. Because it updates the parts that it needs to update, and then still I have that in the background. Why do I get this now? Why does Surfpool print this now? Now it's better. Now it printed it, and then it printed the interface. So maybe if my computer is just slow, and it prints it at the same time, then I have it in the background. But that's odd. Just another thing that you might want to have a look at. Because if I have that in the background, it just looks horrible. See, it looks very horrible. I can't work like this. Oh, now it's better. Okay, anyway, point was, do I still have that balance there? No. Now I'm back to 0, because every time I restart Surfpool, it basically starts from scratch. It doesn't have a ledger locally. 404, no ledger found. It doesn't keep track of the accounts. It will just load all of them again or create them all again. And that's why it always airdrops in the beginning that minus what I needed to, what did I do? Deploy. Did I deploy a program now? Account updated. Does the program exist now? Yeah, now we have the program. Awesome. So it managed to deploy on local. Awesome. That's cool. But still, it's weird. I think my issue was I couldn't use the payer because that guy has no funds. Let's check if that's true. So in my run for local, if I change the payer from my ID JSON to this key pair and then I rerun this, then I get this error. Yeah, that's annoying though, because how can I tell you that you should fund the payer as well? Is there something where we say what are the addresses that we airdrop to? I mean, for mainnet you gotta do it differently. Anyway, let's see. There was also a feature that I didn't find last time. Maybe we can make use of that. We quit that. Wait, what is all of that? Surfpool start. Let's see what it has as arguments. Offline, studio, no studio. We can disable the studio. Default is true. That's weird. Anyway, default should be false. Watch. That's it. Watch programs. I think that's what I need. List of key pair paths to airdrop. There we go. That's what I really need at first. Let's do this. List of pub keys to airdrop and K list of key pair paths to airdrop. The default is this. Oh, that's where that comes from. Let's try this. We're getting there. We're learning how to use Surfpool. I like it. So Surfpool start -K. And now if I were to provide the payer here, then it shouldn't go. Oh God, this is so ugly. Why? Do it again. Then I shouldn't have this problem. Nice. Deploy success. Because the payer, only the payer needs to have funds. The surfer, the authority, doesn't. There we go. This guy now doesn't have funds, but is the authority of the program. So that's the way. I like it. Perfect. So we can get around using the ID JSON. We don't need that. We just say -K and put our payer key pair here. And then we can also go back to, this is now my surfer because I copied it there. But what happens? Good question. What happens if I delete this? Kids, don't do this accidentally unless you backed it up. Oops, I deleted my key pair. What now? If the authority key pair, yeah, then it says no such file or directory for the authority. Failed to read key pair. Perfect. So now I make you point to here again, like I had before. Now I make you point to the surf. And then this should work. Except this is so ugly. What the hell? What do you even print there? There we go. 9 transactions processed. Wonderful. It all works now. Cool. So we figured that out. That's good. And now that we have the program deployed, we can also call it. Let's try that again. Call the program. Didn't work because account not found. Which account not found? Oh yeah, because I'm doing it with a surfer. Maybe I should do it with the payer, because the payer has Sol, the surfer doesn't. Also, it's bad practice to send transactions with your authority. With a payer, let's do it with a payer. Or let's do a client, let's do a separate key. The cleanest way, really, is to have a user. That's gonna be my user. And such that user has some Sol. When start Surfpool, I will also provide this, and that's because I still wanted to figure out how can I provide several keys to airdrop here. Let's see. No, it does say list though, so maybe I can do square brackets. Just, I don't know. No. Can I do several -K? Can I do -K this? Yes, I can. Did that work? I don't know because I don't see shit. Let's see. Did the user get some Sol? Yes. And the payer probably also, because otherwise the account wouldn't exist. Cool, so that works. I can have several -K arguments. Good. Right. Now that we have such a user who actually has Sol, now we should be able to call the program. Yes. Here we go. We're surfing. We are surfing. We send this transaction 5 OK, and Surfpool tells us this transaction has been processed. It doesn't give us all the logs anymore. In the version that I tried in the first video, it was giving all the logs of this transaction, but I actually really prefer this to just give me the signature, and then I can check that out in Explorer maybe, or in Studio. But I'm not gonna touch the studio just yet. I'm gonna still leave that here and first just see if I can do it with Explorer. But I know that's an issue. I got around that by running the Explorer locally. I'm just gonna Solana confirm -v, see if that works. Because that works now. Yes, love it. That was also not possible last time I checked. And now it is. I can -v confirm a transaction and it tells me all of the things that I want to know. And that's also what the Explorer does if I would run it locally, and then from that information it would build the nice interface. So I'm fairly certain that would also work because it does with a local validator. So I think now it also works with Surfpool. So that's cool because we can get all of that information. Balance change from this to this has called this program, and that's the logs. Bam. Awesome. I love it. I can already work with this. I wouldn't work with it like this. I would use the Explorer, but can already work with it. But we don't need to run the Explorer locally for that to work. There's also just a bug that we have on Windows. We can use this studio. So let's finally check out this studio. The Brave. All right. So we see a similar thing to what we saw in the console, just even more nicely animated. Look how slowly I love it. We see the URLs, we see the source. We can copy that. We have a faucet where we can airdrop stuff on random addresses. So for instance, if I want to have another 100 sol on that address, no, that's a signature. Let's drop it on the user. Go. I like the animation. Cool. And then check it. Solana balance now has 100 sol. Wait. Didn't it just before have 10k? Wasn't it the same guy? What? That's weird. So that airdrop might just hardcore overwrite it instead of actually doing an airdrop. So if I have 10 now for the user, boom, congratulations, you now have 10. So basically what the airdrop is, it's overwriting the sol balance. It's not an actual airdrop in the sense that it's adding sol. Hey, here, have an airdrop. Because we're local, we can do whatever. We can literally make up sol. This is like, nobody cares about it. In an actual cluster, they care about it because the runtime will do those checks and you can just move the sol and not just make it up. But fair enough, we're on a local simulation of a validator, so it's fine. We can just override, that's all good. Could I also do that for the program? The program now has just this little bit that it needs for rent exemption, and the program is write locked. You can't write to this account anymore. If I would airdrop 1 sol to this address, that would just work. This is, you can do things that you can't do on a real cluster, but hey, it's for development only anyway. So if you want to play around with potential situations, like weird situations where, yeah, it says account updated. Looking at the features of the studio, this is a sol override, not an actual faucet, in case you wanted to know. And then the interesting thing, the transaction inspector. Here, because all of that's not even transactions, the last transaction that was confirmed here was my 5 OK, the one that called the program. It's with success, 0 compute usage. That's weird. Transaction failed to sanitize account offsets correctly. So there, I mean, that's not accurate. So something in the parsing here in the studio is still going wrong. That's probably also why it has 0 CUs. What happens if I click View in Explorer? Then it opens that in explorersolana.com on local, like custom. But this guy still can't. Okay, fine. You persuaded me. I need to get this to work. So gotta use the Explorer from Solana Foundation. Let's do a new one. I'm gonna clone this. Then I'm gonna open this. And then what kind of project is this? Looks like I can npmi, install all the dependencies. Nice. And then start it. Nope, that wasn't it. Command failed. Couldn't find production build. Oh, build. Rating optimized production build. Yeah, it's a big project. It lets me wait. But I have T. So good. What? Replace color just to print colors. Yeah, not like I care. No, it's failed. Failed never is good. Oh, begin. We know that. The good old begin. Oh no, this doesn't look good. This looks like an exception. Entire page. But it keeps building, so I guess I'll just let it. Whoa. But I guess that looks like it's done. Route. Perfect. So can I now start this? Yeah. We're ready at port 3000. Nope. If we go there, here I should now be able to have a custom RPC, my localhost blah blah. And here, hopefully, let's check the user account for instance. That would load. Look at that. Perfect. And here I can also see this transaction. Nice. Which is the same if I were to use the link that the studio gave me here. If I use that link and instead of explorersolana.com, I just go to localhost, then it also gets me there. That's a fix that I gotta do because I'm working on Windows and the custom doesn't work otherwise. Don't ask me why. But yeah, the cool thing is we actually have the Explorer to see the details. With all the post balances and stuff and the logs, we're surfing. So this is what I'm used to and this is what I need for development. I need to be able to look at it like this to see all the instruction data and whatnot. And Surfpool now provides that. So finally, I can productively use Surfpool. Yes, thank you. So basically all the things that I complained about last time, they fixed. I have even a nice studio, although I'm not too sure if I'm a fan of the studio because, oh, here that, like, this doesn't work. This seems to work. Yeah, so that's what it's supposed to look like. Account state transactions. And you can always go out and see that in the Explorer as well. Just gotta fix that. Then you see it like this. But they were talking about like byte for byte changes, right? Can I see those somewhere? So the parts stayed the same. The owner stayed the same. Data, no data. This one? This is a bit confusing. This number is the same one as this one, right? No, it's not. Because here it's just one number. Here, 8629. So 0. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's the payer. That's why the base fee was removed from here. Okay, that makes sense. The Lampert stayed the same, but the data changed. Oh, we have the before and after. And we look at this. Oh, this is so cool. We see all the individual bytes that changed. Wow, that's cool. That's what they meant with the byte for byte. That's so cool. Wow, that's a feature. I love that. I love that. This is really cool. Even in we can also have it in pretty. The data is now this. Yeah, okay, but the hex comparison of that? Oh, that's so cool. Okay, hold on. We need to play with this. This is fun. Okay, let's go. Give me a proper transaction. How about let's do a quick token. So first I gotta config set my key to one that actually has some sol, or even better, because I don't have some, even better, I can just airdrop some because I have this faucet here anyway. Give me 100,000 or however many that is sol. Thank you. And then I have some balance. 1 million. And now I can SBL token create a token just for fun. What the hell is this? Why is there something in the... Okay, I need to... Okay, but with resizing the window, I can fix it again. Okay, because then it prints the background as well. It's so weird. Anyway, that's just UX stuff. They'll fix it eventually. And we have a token now. Process this transaction. Should we already look at that? This transaction. Look at this. There's 3 instructions. It lists them by compute. So I guess there's a... What do we do when we create a token? There's a create account with a system program. And then there's a initialize mint. And then there's probably compute budget. And those two take 150. Yeah, 150. And that takes the bulk of it. Nice. Is that true? First instruction is system program. Yeah. Is the first account here always the program that is being called? Possibly. No, because here it's the token program that's being called, which is the second account. Some UI improvements, like I really enjoy how the Explorer does it as well. Let's look at it at the Explorer. Look. On local host 3000. For all the instructions, it always tells me what program is being called. And that could be a nice improvement here. Just a UX thing. Just tell me somewhere on top what's the program that's being called. Because that's usually the first thing that I'm looking for. It's an instruction. Yes, cool, but to where? And I don't want to go to the logs down here to see what's the program or assume that it's the first one in here, which here it isn't. So if you can tell me here what program is being called, that would be nice. I don't need it, like it's not, I can work without it, but if I may suggest some further improvements to this amazing studio that you built, I would suggest that you somewhere put the program. Either as one, I don't know. You'll figure it out. You know how to do UX, like maybe as a separate field here or write it here or somewhere. Somewhere let me know what program is being called, such that I can quickly check, oh, this is system program, oh, this is token program, oh, this is compute budget program. Because when I look through instructions, I'm usually looking for a specific one. So that would help me find it quicker. And then I want to see the account changes. Here it says updated account. Here it says new account with all zeros because it just initialized the account. And then here the account gets updated. It's even parsed. Now it's a SBL token mint with 9 decimals, but we can also see it in hex before and after. That's weird though. Wasn't it before all zeros? I wonder where the before data comes from, because this DTM here is just a new account. It has all zeros. In hex, look, all zeros. And then here, all of a sudden, it already before has this data. That also doesn't check out because the size changed. That's a bit weird. I think there's still a bug or something in here. It looks odd, at least. And the green stuff, I would assume that the green stuff is the one that changed, no? And the green stuff is new. Well, that doesn't make sense. Okay, we'll analyze this further. Let's do a transfer. Let's see what a transfer looks like. For that, we'll need to SBL token create an account for that mint that we just looked at. Should we look at this transaction as well? Let's see this transaction. That's one instruction to the token program. No, wait, to the associated token program. It's not so easy to see that. And we have a new account, this one, and in hex, that's written in there. I would have expected that on here you would give me the number, like the string interpretation of those values. I don't think this is what I actually expect it to be, honestly. But it is literally what you have here. That's so weird. Hold on. 22, 70. Oh, holy shit. Are you freaking kidding me? No shit, come on. Okay. I get it what you're doing here and that. What? Really? Come on, guys. Look, you're giving me the pretty thing in hex. You're giving me this in hex. That's why it got so confusing with the other account. You're giving me this. I don't want the ASCII characters in hex. Look at this is what this translates to in hex. Yeah, okay, I get it, okay. What I expect to, if I click on hex, what I expect, dear people who develop this, is something like this. The actual bytes of the actual account, which has a bunch of zeros and stuff. Byte changes my ass. You're giving me this. You're giving me the pretty thing in hex. I'm pretty sure this is just a bug of some. It is a bug. Obviously, it's a bug. But did nobody complain about that yet? Do I have to be always the one who's complaining about that? Apparently. Yeah, okay. But then the transfer is going to give me the same, right? If I do SBL token. Oh, first I need to mint. That's wrong. I need to mint. What's the token? That's the token. Some, and then transfer some to, who cares, the payer. Boom, there we go. This transaction, let's look at it. It looks cool because it calls the associated token program, then it does the transfer, and then there's still the compute budget program. I assume, is that correct? Yes, associated token. Instruction 2 is the actual transfer. And the actual transfer updates those two token accounts. Oh, this is nice. This looks really nice. The UI amount from 0 to 1. The actual amount from this, from 0 to 1. And the other account, this was 1. The other account is this one. It updates from 10 to 9. So that's where it got sent from. That's my token account. But if I look at that in hex, you are showing me basically this in hex. This is absolutely not what I want. I would love the actual byte comparison. But this is just a bug. This is just, if that was the actual bytes, I mean, copy Solana account like this, you know, where you show those are the bytes that changed. Maybe that's just a bug for accounts where you have a pretty version. Maybe that does work for accounts, I don't know, of a program. So I guess I need a program now that actually writes to accounts. It shouldn't be too difficult. We're Solana dev, let's go. I mean, I have this program here anyway now. We have our program here now anyway. Let's let the program do some stuff. Let's let the program, I don't know, let's implement a counter. The classic example, a counter. We take account number 0. We try borrow mutable data. We assume that works. And we write to the first byte the same number plus 1. We're surfing. So actually, let me kill this for a second. Because there is this watch flag that we saw and didn't try yet. I want to try this as well. Check this. If I do the same thing as before with dash dash watch, and then I change something in my program and I save this. Oh no, it doesn't rebuild it automatically. Okay, maybe I need to manually cargo build SPF. Nope, still didn't do anything. Can still call it. I would expect that fails now. No, because it still has... No, it doesn't because it still has the old version. Okay, weird. I would have expected that it watches this program. Now it has the new version because now it took what I just compiled to and now it shouldn't work. Yeah. But what does the dash watch do then? It said watch programs. Yeah, great. But what exactly does that mean? I would have expected that when I change something in my program, and especially if I rebuild it, that you see this and update again, but that's not really what happens. Even with dash watch, maybe I need to put it somewhere else. Maybe at the very beginning, maybe I put it, no, it needs to go after the start. And then I change my program, and then I rebuild my program. Yep, the watch, I don't see what it does. This still probably works for anchor programs. Should we check that? Nah, can't be bothered to do an anchor program now. But for my Pinocchio program, it does not really work. Or I'm doing it wrong. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Anyway, we have the version that we want now deployed. Let's change our script to actually have an account that is writable. So first we create an account. Can I have Solana kit, Solana programs system? Nope, that's not Solana program system probably. Yeah, create account. Get create account instruction. Then we do a get create account instruction. Oh, it doesn't matter, just whatever. One sol, because I can afford it, that's why. New account, fine. One account, please. This data account. So the data account is the new account. Payer is the payer. Program address. This is what we assign it to. We assign it to my program and space 8 bytes. I don't care. I just want to have 8 bytes. We're going to do that as a separate transaction even. So let's do create account. There we go. Account created. And now we can call the program with this data account. So address is this data account address and role is account role writable. And now if we call the program, nice, that works. And we check the transaction here. Oh, then we get this error again. Transaction failed to sanitize accounts offset correctly. So there still seems to be a bug. Annoying, because then I can't see the balance, the byte changes. I was hoping that for this account now I can see the byte changes. Was it the same here? No, here it worked. Here the account, I can create it and I have the 8 bytes in hex. See, that's what I'm expecting. That's how I expect the account to do this. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Because in pretty, it's the same, lol. Don't give me pretty, because that messes up my hex display. But then why does this one not work? I don't know. Fail to sanitize account offsets correctly. Read only account states. But it gives me the things, the base 58 response here. Now let's reload this. So if I click on that, transaction clicked, fetching transaction, JSON parsed, and base 58 response. That stuff. Read only account states. Don't know why it can't parse that. Because this it could. What's the difference between this system program and my program? Maybe for my program it doesn't know which accounts it takes. What was that called? It was something like generate key per signer, no? Yeah, there. What if I do both in one transaction? What? If I do both in one transaction, you can? Okay, so now I did the system program and the call to my program. See how efficient my program is? Damn it, it's more efficient than a call to the system program. Bam, Pinocchio for the win. Anyway, okay, then it can. This is weird. There's some weird bug. But yeah, okay, okay. Let's look here. That account was created with the 8 zeros, and here that account is updated, and there's now a 1 in hex. I still don't like this. Because this is so weird. This is still the ASCII characters of those. This and this. The 0 and the comma, and the 0 and the comma. So that was the 0 and the comma, the 0 and the comma, the 0 and the comma. And 130 has become a 31 because there's now a 1 ASCII character, comma, 0, comma, 0. Oh man, you can do better. But the idea is there. It's just one more little bug fix and it's actually a nice feature. And maybe this came in that version. Should we check that it once? Hold on. And then I'm good. But hold on. This is also and another bug here. But overall, I'm very happy with it. Like, I can work with this. Because this is just an additional feature that I would love to have. Because I don't have it right now. But I can totally see myself using this productively. Otherwise, I will just go work with the Explorer. But the Explorer doesn't give me the bytes. If you give me the bytes, that would be awesome. What else did you promise that you can do now? Transaction inspector at instruction level? Yeah, okay, the Explorer can do that too. Okay, that I'm very interested in. Okay, I'm also interested in that, but more this. Anyway, we're going to Surfpool. We're gonna check out 0.10.0, and then we're gonna install this version. Just want to see if that has always been the case or if they just introduced that bug. Give it to me. Version 0.10.0. Replaced with version 10.0, and now Surfpool version. With this version, let's run Surfpool again. There it called it Explorer. Haha. Send such a transaction. There you go. 65. Not gonna lie. 65. There we go. It can do that. And here, if we look at that updated account in Hex, this was already the case like this. Okay, so this is not a new thing. It looks like it never worked. Byte by byte. Yes, yes. In ASCII, it doesn't look like anybody ever worked with this, because you would have realized that, I hope. And maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me who is so low level that I love to see the byte changes and you are okay with the pretty stuff. But, I think I'm happy with that. Admittedly, you did super great in fixing all the things that I complained about in the last video. Especially shout out to having this the right way round from up to down like a normal person does it. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. Overall, I'm happy with Surfpool. It's cool. I like this. This looks really nice. And we're almost done with this epoch. We're also almost done with this video. Is there anything else that I needed to check out? I think I went through all the things that I said I would look at. The stuff with the Explorer works now. If you put it local, and you can look at it as well. So that works. You know what? We're gonna do one last thing before we go. And that is use Surfpool with an anchor program. And the challenge is to get that done before the epoch is over. Okay, let's go. So, quick anchor program. And while we're at it, can I git check out v0.10.4 again and install version 4. And then we do an anchor program. Anchor init, anchor surf. I don't know, whatever. What? You need yearn. It did create it, but it still had an error. Whatever. Okay, let's see. We have a program. Greetings from the program. Cool. So we can hopefully do anchor build. Okay. We've got Surfpool v10.4 again. See, that's why I don't enjoy Anchor. But I do enjoy my tea. My nice rosemary tea. So good. Okay, there we go. Oh, now for the IDL as well. Okay, fine, but that's hopefully quicker. Not like I need an IDL. There you go. Okay, and now here we have version 10.4 again. Surfpool start. Oh, let's go. Yes. I will have probably the same error because this doesn't exist. Yep. So I'm just gonna quit this and copy my run book from the other project and run it the same way how I run it in the other project with the watch. So having those keys the same. What the hell is this? Does it print the transactions that it does for deploying? What the hell is it doing here? And then we're here. Okay. This is weird, but whatever. We're almost done. It did manage to deploy. And now my question is, does it work with Anchor that if I say greetings from here, I save this, and if Anchor build also doesn't change anything. So the watch also with Anchor, I don't see it. But we can call this Anchor program here. Instruction fallback not found. Oh yeah, I need to have the initialize instruction. But it is deployed. We see that it is deployed. It's just, I would need to put the proper instruction discriminator here or implement the fallback, but for both I'm too lazy. Yeah, so I don't get the watch yet. The watch, to recap, the watch, either I'm using it wrong or it doesn't work for me or I don't understand what it actually does. Watch programs. There's a weird bug if we start it, like why is it printing all of that? First of all, wait, can I just hold on, can I say that it shouldn't print that stuff? debug, include debug.default is false. That's not even debug. Then, yeah, I wouldn't know how it would. Like, what happens if I say debug? It prints even more? I don't know. So I probably don't want that, whatever it is, because that just looks ugly. The clock is ticking, yo. Ha! What? Clock is ticking. It's gonna explode. The epoch is gonna. Oh, that's why I have debug. That's why it's printing me this. Yeah, the clock is ticking indeed. Clock is ticking indeed. We're almost done. So that was another bug. And then this thing, please, with when we look at this, please make the hex the actual hex bytes. Those are the three things that I can tell you as the devs of Surfpool, and what I can tell you as a dev of anything on Solana is that you probably want to use Surfpool for local development. This is really smooth, and I know them. They're gonna fix those things that I tell them to fix, because that's what they've been doing in the past, really quickly as well. So you'll see me back here in a month reporting back to you if they also fixed those things. And there's so much more that we can have a look at, like the runbooks. We still didn't fully understand what that does, but this studio is really fun, and if it works properly, then that could be really cool. Especially for local development, especially because, and I haven't even mentioned that the entire video yet, Surfpool queries all the accounts from mainnet that it doesn't have. In our example, we didn't need any, but if we would need any, then it would just query them. And that is just so cool. That alone is why I love Surfpool. And now with the studio and this proper nice UI here, I like it. I must admit, I'm a fan. This is not a paid advertisement or anything, but I just like it. It's just a cool tool. They didn't ask me to make this video, and if they would have probably asked me to criticize it less. But hey, I'm just providing you with some easy bug fixes here. Okay, let's finish this up to get to the 100. I already said everything. This is my conclusion. Surfpool is great. I love it. Use it if you're doing anything with Solana program development. It's really nice to have a pseudo mainnet locally. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you as well. It's just fun to play around with this. I had fun looking at this, because look at the studio. I'm getting overly excited about it. It's like an Explorer, but for local, that actually works mostly. Yeah, I'm giving you shit. I'm sorry. And I guess we'll leave it at that. We will leave it at that. Go check out some other videos. Here's the one that I made on Surfpool in the first episode. It's heavily out of date, but it gives you the idea what Surfpool is about. Don't judge the UX though, because that improved a lot. Also, all the things that I criticized improved a lot. Same with this video. All the things I criticized, I'm sure will improve. And next time you see me talk about Surfpool, they will have fixed all of that. So make sure you give them a like. Maybe you also want to give me a like and subscribe here on YouTube. And then I will see you in the next video talking about cool Solana developments. Till then, see you. We're almost done with this epoch. But it doesn't matter because we're local and we're just simulating that we're mainnet. So whatever. Bye!